Captain Coder here again with another Clash of Code. We're gonna hop in, do a clash in C#. If you're not familiar with what Clash of Code is, it is a little programming competition provided by Code Game. Do these little one-off battles, 15 minutes to complete a challenge. In the public matches, you're up against up to 8 players. At least one other up to 8. You can also host some private matches, and I think in those you can have more than 8 people. Once you have 8 people, game starts in 5 minutes. Little challenge here. Let's see what we get. Fastest. All right, so we're gonna get a problem statement, and we have to code that up. I am doing my solution in C#, but you can do it in a dozen or more programming languages. Here we go. You must output the string that consists of dashes, underscores, and asterisks. Convert the given string by replacing uppercase letters with dash, lowercase with underscore, and all other characters by asterisks. All right, so we have some input and outputs, and we're essentially converting uppercase, lowercase, and non-letters to asterisks. So our input's going to be a single line that contains a string, and the string, my output should contain just dashes, underscores, and asterisks. So for example, I've got hello world, capital H, capital W, those become dashes, the lowercase letters become underscores, and the space becomes an asterisk. Not too bad. So it's not going to be too bad. So I am going to try and do this in sort of a nice programmatic way, where come in here, I'm going to loop through my string S. All right, so there's going to be several ways to do it. You could do it with a regular expression. You could do it, I have 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna try and do it a couple different ways just to show you some examples. This one seems pretty easy. All right, so but let's start with the most straightforward way. Let's say you don't know about regular expressions. So we're gonna do a loop here over our string S. We're gonna say for every character in S, what does it like about it? Does not exist in the current context. Oh, it's capital S for every character in capital S. Essentially, our logic becomes that we want to take all, if I find a lowercase letter, turn it into an underscore. If I find an uppercase, turn it into a dash. And if I find anything else, turn it into a star. So if CH is uppercase, right? That's sort of what I want. There's no sort of is uppercase in C#. Other programming languages might have that, but I'm gonna write a quick little function here. Well, there might even be a built-in one. Here, let's see. C# is uppercase. You can use is upper method to see if a character is uppercase. Let's see here. There's something called is upper. Fascinating. I've never used that. Let's try is upper. I don't think that's a thing. It's gonna tell me no. Is it on char dot is upper? There we go. So we could do char dot is upper on my ch. If that's the case, I'm gonna do a console dot write, not a console dot write line because I want it to go straight across. If I'm uppercase, I'm gonna do a dash. Else, if my char is lower, console.write, I'm gonna do an underscore. Else, console.write, I'm gonna do an asterisk. All right, let's check it out. Let's try it. Let's go to this basic test case. All right, we succeeded on this one. I have a feeling, well, we'll see. I try not to get too overconfident. I have a feeling we're gonna get all of them. It's a pretty straightforward, relatively easy one. And we're gonna, oh, that coffee's good. Gonna let it go. Got some Don Francisco butterscotch coffee. A lot of people don't like flavored coffees, but just black, no cream, no sugar. I find the bitterness with a mild hint of butterscotch absolutely wonderful. Okay, we passed all of our tests. Let's see. So normally you would want to submit this if you wanted to like win and get a high rank here. But we're trying to learn a little bit here. So let's look at some alternatives to what we could do here. So I'm just gonna move this public static string solution one like this. I'm just gonna move this in here. So if I want to public static string solution one return, oh, I don't need to return a string. I'm just gonna put it out. So I could potentially, if I wanted to just do this, I could do solution one. My code would run again, so I don't lose it. I'm just gonna put it in its own thing. All right, let's do the solution regex solution. So regular expression. If you're not familiar with regular expressions, they are. Let me call this here. Regex solution. Regular expression is a way to match elements inside of a string. It's like a little programming language in itself. Programming is a strong word. It's like a descriptive language. Says, I want to find text that match them. Designed to be sort of a short amount of code, small strings that lets you express a bigger string. For example, to do this, I gotta do, hang on, C# regular expression. I have to, hang on. There's something I have to import here. I can never remember. I'm not a professional C# programmer. But I'm trying to improve. That's why I'm doing these. C# string replace regular expression. I should remember this. I looked this up just a couple days ago. Here we go. All right, so I want to take a string, match the match evaluator. Let's see, let's get down to the example. I know there's one down here. Here we go. This is the version that I want to do. Someone probably who is better at C# than me is already saying, oh, you can just do it this other way. What is taking you so long? All right, so I know I'm gonna need this import here, and then this is sort of the code. This is the method I want to run. All right, so I'm gonna still this in here in my regular expression. All right, so my input happens to be S. My pattern, so I'm looking for any letter that goes from A to Z. So these are lowercase letters, A to Z, and lowercase letters get replaced with the underscore. So this essentially has like this loop built up inside of it, this method here, but it's gonna loop through all of my characters. It's gonna find every lowercase letter and replace it with an underscore. I'm pretty sure. I've been known to be wrong before. And oops, didn't mean to delete it there. I am going to just replace my string with that. So when it gets a new string, it's gonna go ahead and replace that one there. All right, so some of you might recognize that this is probably inefficient in many ways. All right, so now we're gonna do capital A to Z. That's gonna be a dash. The reason it's pretty inefficient is I'm looping through my string many times when I do this. And then I'm replacing the whole string. It's not like I'm going through and finding them all at once. I'm finding each individual thing here. All right, and now, ooh, the hard part. Anything that's not, all right, so now I need to find anything that is not, I'm bad at this. Anything that's not a dash or an underscore. All right, so regex match not character. Let's see here. Match a regex says, I think it, yeah, I should have just gone for it with that. It's the Not one of those. Okay. So it looks like not is the caret. I'm gonna say it's not one of these. Replace it with a star. So my goal here is, this is why regular expressions are interesting, because you have to know what each symbol means. These square brackets are say, well, there's gonna be a range of things, and then you put A to Z in there. Let's see how we did here. This one, I'm not feeling super confident just yet, because I'm not the best at regular expressions. It's not something I feel like I've had to do a ton of. Let's test this hello world, see if we did. I have a feeling we're gonna be wrong here. Yeah. It's not doing my dashes properly, because dash inside of this context usually means like there's a range. So I think I have to put this slash here. So this is called an escape sequence. Normally in a regular expression you'd have a single slash, but because in strings and C# and MIDI programming you have to put two backslashes to get a single backslash in your actual string. Let's see if that fixes it. Didn't fix it. What is now? It didn't replace. Interesting. All right, we're gonna try replace anything that's not one of those. Oh, now I'm feeling silly. I want to replace anything that's not a dash or an underscore with an asterisk. The caret means match anything, but so this beginning of a string, then one or more of anything except those two. Oh, do I need to put my caret in here? Let's try that. People yelling at their screens right now. There we go. Okay, so I had a lot of the symbols right. I didn't read the entire Stack Overflow response properly. My brain said, oh, I'm pretty sure it's the caret, but this caret here, I think this is actually saying you have to start when it's outside of this angle bracket. I'm pretty sure. Well, I could be wrong. Well, let's do our other test cases. See how wrong I am. Okay, I think I'm doing okay. I'm pretty sure the caret on the outside was saying that this has to be the start of the string. So if you remember, the output I was getting happened to okay, I have one failing cast here. 7, the end. Let's see if we can display sol.right.error.right line. Yes, let's see what our input is if I try this last one here. Oh, I have brackets, and I'm expecting this, but for some reason, I'm gonna run out of time here. I got 2 minutes. I could kind of brute force this and say, well, just replace those square brackets. I'm a little... I need to replace dashes with the asterisk. So there's this little tricky thing here. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is actually do s.replace, not a regular expression. Go ahead and replace all of my dashes with asterisks to start out, and then replace all my underscores, and this isn't going to affect me on this one, but replace all my dashes, all my asterisks with underscores to begin with. Let's try it, because in what was happening before is these square brackets were getting converted, but these dashes weren't, because they didn't show up in any of these expressions. So I could do it this way. I actually feel like this is a lot more straightforward than this. I was actually thinking with a regular expression I could get a much nicer solution that was like a little bit more condensed, but I had to jump through some hoops here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and submit. So we did that 2 different ways. We did it with a traditional for each loop, and then we also did it with the regular expression. Let's see what some of the other submissions were. I always like seeing the other people. One of the things I love about Code in Game, a lot of these sites have them, but you can see what other people did. This is very, I was kind of hoping someone did a better version of regular expression, someone who knows them a little bit better than me. Yeah, this person, essentially our first solution, they have the same thing I do in Python. So it's saying if it's not a letter, do a star. If it's upper, this is interesting. You can do I dot is upper. You don't have to have this double doubles equals true, because this in itself is a Boolean. And then if it's lower, do an underscore. Nice little solution. Let's see. Almost the same. It's fun seeing the variations. Something that's really interesting about this type of programming is you're going to see very similar solutions, because there's usually a pretty straightforward way to do it. But the variations of this for loop and then the order of the ifs is so interesting to me. All right, one more. Same thing. Interesting that their variable name is word and not like, so I always do ch for character. It's just a single letter, so it's interesting that they use word there. So everyone sort of had the same solution. I guess if you're going for the fastest solution, not the most clever solution, you're gonna end up with all very similar. I thought that was pretty fun. I thought that one was really quite easy, so I'm gonna go with easy. Might even be too easy, but I have over 20 years of programming experience, so a lot of these are gonna feel easy to me. Program statement I thought was very clear. Test cases were good. They actually, well, they were missing one. They had one where it had the dash and they didn't have one where it had an underscore. Or maybe they did and I just didn't see it. But I thought these were really good tests. I'm going with ideal because in my regular expression version, it actually caught one of these edge cases that I had missed. So great little puzzle. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you found this helpful. I had a blast doing this. If you liked this puzzle, if this gave you something, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Let me know. And if you want to see more coding challenges, click that subscribe button. Come back anytime.